All right, so hey, what is up, guys? Today what I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to be doing a review, and I am reviewing slash comparing two pens. The pens that we're going to be comparing today are this pen, yep, and then there's this pen. So, we're going to do this based off of let's say three tests. I don't know what they are. Let's make them up right now. Let's call the first test um writing ability, like how good they are at writing, putting ink to paper. The next test, I guess, would be whether they live up to their title, uh and I guess the last test overall would be like just the overall feel of the pen, like how it feels to write with it. Okay, so let's get started. We're gonna start with this pen first. Okay, so as you can tell, we have a fine point tip, and not much else to it. It's a fine point tip. The grip, it's just plastic. There's no real like grip on it. I feel like that would be a deciding factor, like it could fall off or something. But it's just grip. On the packaging, I'm pretty sure it says it was quick drying. So we're gonna try to draw something here, and leave it for like a second. Yeah, it dries rather quickly, kind of. Still good though as a pen. Yeah, okay, so overall, making random squiggly lines kind of felt scratchy, almost as if I was like scratching some sort of chalk onto the paper. Not really too smooth, but it is pretty quick drying. So someone like me who's left-handed, if I write and I just keep writing, it doesn't look like I'd be smearing all too much, Okay, so that's good, at least in terms of writing. Like, I'm not the best at writing. I don't have like the most perfect alphabet, sort of writing, but I'd like to say I'm half decent. So, it's not too bad. But however, it does feel kind of gentle. Like, I have to be extremely gentle with this sort of pen, and that kind of may be bad for someone like me, because I'm the type of person to write with a heavy sort of like push on it, or like a harder push. For people who write lighter, it could be nicer for you, because you guys for people who write lighter, it could potentially be a lot nicer. However, moving fast, it does get thin. THIN, thin. So you can't really move too fast with it. But overall, it's a great pen. It's fine tip, which was on the package. It dries quickly, which was also on the package. It's overall, it's fantastic. I think it's a great pen, but I don't think it would be I would use it, and I wouldn't recommend it for myself or anybody who writes heavily, because it's kind of gentle, or you have to be gentle. So we're gonna set that off to the side. We're gonna grab ourselves a new piece of paper, and then we're gonna get started on the next pen, which would be this one. Now this pen, yes, it is a lot thicker. We take off the cap, and it has grip. It has a rubber grip for your fingers here, as you can tell, and it's a lot thicker. It's not fine point, but it's thicker. Now I have to be honest with this. Just by putting lines down, I immediately like it. It feels extremely smooth, except it feels, at least, like you have to keep it on the tip for it to be smooth. If you put it at an angle, you might feel some scratching when you're moving to the right. On the left, moving to the left, it's pretty smooth. To the right, not so much. It feels like it's kind of about to tear the paper. So I recommend, keeping it on the tip if you can, or writing slowly but quickly. Not slowly, quickly, I don't know. But I don't think I saw that it said I said that twice, that it said It was quick drying, but we're gonna check it. Oh, it's pretty quick drying. Leave it for a second. Yeah, it's pretty good. Not as fast or not as good as the other pen, but it's still pretty good. Overall, writing with it feels comfortable. Writing the alphabets, you know, it's not so bad. I wouldn't mind using this. I really wouldn't. It's a pretty great pen. I completely forgot the categories that I was supposed to be grading these on, but it feels nice in your hands. Also, because it's a metal tip, it doesn't feel so like I don't have to be gentle on it. I could write it feels like I can write as hard as I want on it, and that's a prime example right there. So it's not bad for people who write heavily. Just gonna put a few other things, and not only that, I think at least the ink flows out of it incredibly well. Like if you write incredibly well, it's fantastic. You know, you could do a lot with this pen, I believe. I would recommend this pen for myself, mainly because you know, it's quick. It dispenses ink quickly. I could write heavily with it without worrying about like breaking it because of the metal tip. I think that it is fantastic. Now, one more thing I have to mention about this. See, this paper is very thick, but observing this, I noticed that this pen bleeds through really quickly. Maybe this is just a thick piece of paper, but on normal sort of writing paper, it bleeds through quickly, and I would not recommend this pen for writing on pieces of paper that are thin. This is a thicker piece of paper because it is construction paper, but I guess like thicker construction paper. I do recommend highly that you would write with this, because the ink will bleed through a lot. However, with this pen, I don't think it will bleed through. Anyways, that is my review on these two pens. Personally, I think if you write heavier, you should use this pen. It feels fantastic to write with. It has a good grip, and I guess it'll last for a long time. Here's the ink in the back. There is a lot of ink in there, so it's very useful. I highly recommend it. This one, I actually don't know how to get to the ink somewhere on it, I guess, but I wouldn't recommend this for myself. But if you write a lot lighter, I do recommend this because it is fantastic for people who write, you know, not as heavily. I'm just repeating myself, but I hope you guys enjoyed this review of these two pens. Both of these pens were very nice, and you know, I think they're fantastic, but I will be sticking with this one for the rest of whatever I decide to write with, or you know, just in general. It's a fantastic pen. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have an excellent day.